Welcome back, spectacular students, and this is a two-part lesson in how to build an amazing concept map. Your concept maps are going to be your tests now, so you want to do a good job, and this video will show you how to do that. But first, we're going to have a little bit of fun. One of my former TV production students sent me this because he knew I was doing virtual lessons, so to make it a little classier, watch. I thought that was awesome, and I'm very grateful to Aaron for putting that together and sending it to me. He is currently a videographer and making a career doing that, and really proud of it. Okay, so this lesson is all about how to make a really good concept map. And first, we've been studying DNA and genetics. And so I thought you might enjoy seeing a couple of pictures. This is a bridge in Gainesville, Florida that's made to look like a double helix. And I think that's the same bridge at night. This is another one. People really like this whole DNA thing. And that's got the whole spiral thing happening. That just looks like it would be fun to go across. And that gets us to want to build a spectacular concept map. Keep watching. Some of this will be familiar to you. A lot of you watched me show you the how-tos on making a concept map. So I used some of those facts, but things are a little different. Now that it's going to be a test grade, you have to pay a little bit more attention to just how much you put into the concept maps. This is especially important for you students who haven't been with me all year. But if you're watching now, you should be able to make a terrific concept map and get a great grade on it. Alright, so this is the rubric, and I'm going to go through each one of these in detail, but the main and most important things, your name, student number, and such, you can lose 5 points for. And then the second part is bonus points for definitions, color, neatness, charts, graphs, diagrams, drawings, tables. So let's dive in and take a closer look. Note the ones that I've highlighted in yellow here. Those will give you up to 80% on your concept map. These extras down here, definitions, color, neatness, that's where the other 20% comes from. So if you just want an 80%, you can do this minimum. If you want to get above an 80%, you're going to have to add some of the extras. No more 110, 105s. 100 will be the highest grade because it is your test at this point. So remember the basics of concept maps. You want to have your heading in the upper right. And if you are making this on a piece of notebook paper, that's still important to do it this way. Now probably you're going to be taking a picture of it and then hopefully attaching it to the assignment that'll be in Google Classroom. I haven't built that assignment yet, but I will be building it in the next few days. And then, so you want your full heading, you want your title, you want your vocabulary words in boxes, you want your links not in boxes, and go on just like that. Okay, so lose 5 points per item if there's no name. Okay, I'm using the laser, sorry. If there's no name, CID, date, and period. 5 points per item. No matter how you turn in your concept map, start out with it portrait and put your heading in the upper right hand corner. Even if you want to turn it landscape, that's where your heading should be. Now the fact that we're turning it in on Google Classroom, this may not make that much sense, but I'm still hopeful you're going to be back in these chairs and I won't be talking to this empty classroom anymore. There'll be people in here. It is really, really neat not to get interrupted, but it's also really lonely. Email me. Okay, your title, including the chapter, name, and number. For example, chapter 14, Light, Mirrors, and Lenses. And you lose 5 points if your title is missing. Title would go right here, even if you turn your paper that way. Okay, the map center is the main idea, and it's usually the chapter title. We're getting ready to do chapter 10, and chapter, by the way, that's what part 2 of this video is. Part 1, how to make a concept map. Part 2, how to make the chapter 10 concept map. So keep watching. Keep watching. I wish Bill were here. Bill and I are so much better at this than I am, but thank you for watching. I do care about you, and I do miss you. Okay, so the title of this chapter is Heredity, and you would put that in the center. 5 points if that main topic is missing. So there we have it. In this case I put light because chapter 2 I made all of that up just as an example. So that's a good beginning. That's how you would start your concept map. Then you need to have all the vocabulary words, all the vocabulary. Did I mention all the vocabulary words? All of them. Don't leave any out. They're highlighted in your book already, so they're easy to find. And if for some reason it makes it easier for you to add a vocabulary word, you can declare a word a vocabulary word and put a box around it. I don't care if there's extra, but I do want the vocabulary words boxed and the links not boxed. Minus 5 points per missing word. Alright, so here's the beginning. We got the vocabulary word, we got the link, we got the next vocabulary words, we got the next links, or you could add definitions, or you could add charts or diagrams. Whatever you want to do, however creative you feel, how much time you have. Links from the main idea to the vocabulary words, or from vocabulary word to vocabulary word. Missing a link loses 5 points. Now it's okay to have one vocabulary word linked to, say, 5 or 6 other words if that works, if it makes sense. But where you have a vocabulary word and then a line and another vocabulary word with nothing in between them, no link, that's a missing link. Some of you have gotten papers back from me where I write links with a question mark. That's why, because you're not putting those links in. Just again to review, there's the links. If I saw light and an arrow straight to waves, that's a missing link, and that would cost you 5 points. Don't do that. Okay, definitions. We're now into the realm of bonus points. If you put a definition in, especially something that you maybe don't understand too well, so you want to write it down, that could get you extra points. Adding some color to your concept map, like these pretty flowers, could give you some extra points. Neatness is a plus. It shows me that you took some time to make your concept map. You're putting your effort into it and thinking about it, because the concept map is all about thinking. The right way to build a concept map is for you to have the book open. You're actually reading the textbook. Wait, I'll get one. Okay, so I've got this textbook here, and what you're supposed to do is get it open and start reading it. And you'll find that there's lovely words there highlighted in yellow. And as you read from one word to the next word, using your amazing brains, you should be able to come up with a link. For instance, just looking at this, I see wave and sound energy. Well, sound energy can be carried by waves, or waves are one way, sound energy moves. So you make it any way that you want. You can rearrange them. It's up to you. Whatever is easiest for you. Use the book. Alright, charts, graphs, diagrams, drawings, tables, formulas. get more points for any of those things that you want to put on there. This is one from NASA that I showed you all before. Notice they have, you can't notice because I'm using the laser. Notice they have the vocabulary words, their main idea, and then their vocabulary words in boxes, and then their links not in boxes. This is the right way to put together your concept map. Okay, so this is your test grade. Built from vocabulary, which I just showed you how the words are already highlighted. You'll link one word to the other using a word or a phrase, and use all of the words in the chapter. Don't leave any out. This is a fairly simple concept map. Assuming they used all the words, they would get an 85 to 90% because they have their words, they have their links, and they added some neatness to it. They have a diagram, so that bumps it above the 80. And so it'll be somewhere in the 85 to 90 range. This one has a lot more information in it, and because of that, because they added a lot more, it would be in the 95 to 100 range. So the more of those bonus things you put in there, the more points you're going to get. And you want to do that because test grades count double. So make sure you do well. This is your test. And that concludes part 1. Please stay tuned for part 2.